Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Isaiah Peter and I help content creators level up their production game. And in this series, that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do step by step, how to build your very own YouTube channel from the ground up. So let's do it. Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Isaiah Peter again, and I will be your host in this 10-part series of how to start your very own YouTube channel from scratch. A quick little backstory on me: I've been a photographer, videographer, graphic designer, music producer, video editor, and set designer for the last 7 years. And over the last 7 years, I've had the privilege of creating for global brands such as Versace, Subaru, Honda, Flavor God, and so many more other nonprofit organizations. And now I'm on a journey of becoming a full-time content creator, and in that process, just sharing my story along the way, and also what I've learned over the years to help you guys level up your production game so that you guys can crush it in whatever type of content that you're making. But what we're going to focus on in this series is the YouTube channel. So we got two things on the agenda for this video. One, I'm going to be briefly going over the 10 parts in this series that we're going to be going over and learning about. And two, I'm going to give you 10 things that you can buy today, this week, this month, in the next 2 months, whatever it is, so that you can jumpstart your very own YouTube channel and cut that learning curve to get a setup and a look exactly like this. So let's jump into the 10 topics real quick. One, you're going to need to define your niche. And simply defining your niche is just finding out what kind of content you want to create and what kind of audience you want to create for. So for example, for me, I like filmmaking, I like video editing, I like cameras, I like photos, I like all that stuff. So my niche would be geared towards content creators just like yourself. And through that niche, then we can go more in depth and more in detail of like who you're reaching, who your custom avatar is for your actual audience, and then snowballing into the idea of how to find video ideas and what to make videos about, etc. You know, stuff like that. So that's a brief overview of defining your niche. It's just finding what you want to create content about, and then it's finding who you're creating it for. Number two is researching and planning your content ideas. And this one's pretty practical and strategic, and I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how to find video ideas that'll work well, that are SEO optimized and that are winning. And then I'm going to show you how to backlog your content schedule so that you always know what type of video you're making, and scheduling that out to make you more optimal in your editing and to make you more efficient in your process so that you can get more done, especially with a busy schedule. And this is stuff that I learned actually working pretty much from 9 to 5 or 9 to 3, and still having time for family and friends and just to take care of my responsibilities in the business sector. So that video is going to show you how to operate and manage your time within rhythms and seasons to get the best ROI that you can on every video that you make. Number three is going to be branding, and it's pretty much the visual package and the aesthetic that you want to put off as your brand. And the cool thing about this topic is your brand can start off at one thing, and you can have an idea in mind and references in mind of how you want it to look. And then as you create, from my experience, as you create, you'll start to see your brand morph into something that you actually didn't have in mind, but it works for you, and it is you. It's your personality, it's your workflow, it's how you create, it's your setting, it's your environments. It's really a cool topic because it's so personal, and it's something that can set you apart within the market so that you're not looking like everybody else, and you'll be able to be that rose that grows out of the concrete and stands apart in the marketplace. So that's number three, branding. Number four is going to be a big video, and it's going to be a very important video. It's how to edit your videos from start to finish. And I'm not just talking about video editing, I'm talking about filming, project setting, workflow, music choices. There's so much that goes into it, and that's going to be a big video, and that's really going to help you build a framework from start to finish, from filming to editing to posting and to promoting. Number five is creating thumbnails and titles. Number five is a really big buzz topic, and I know there's so many other YouTube videos on it, so I'm just giving you my perspective on how I do it and what is working for me. And the goal of that video is so that you can build off of it and do better than me, and maybe I can watch one of your videos and I can learn from you. And that's the goal of this, to make disciples that make disciples. Number six is SEO, descriptions, and tags. Now this comes in the same process of actually your thumbnails and uploading your videos on the back end of YouTube, but it also ties into your titling. So SEO ties into your title and how searchable your content is, because don't forget, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. So making your content search based but targeted enough where people can actually find it within the niche that you're targeting will help your videos skyrocket. So a lot of the winning happens in the prep work. So if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's what we're doing in this video. We're trying to help you get a game plan together so that you can go through the flow and the workflow and the processes of creating for your own YouTube channel that's effective and efficient. Number seven is social media content and promotion. Now there's many ways of doing this, and I can show you how to actually create your own short form content yourself, which really doesn't take that long. But also too, there's an alternative to this, because some long form content, at least for mine, it's not very choppable. But what I can do is I can make short form off of the topics that I make my long form videos on. Pro tip. But there's something in that video that we have to discuss so that you don't hurt your YouTube channel in the long run. Number 8 is consistency on YouTube. And consistency is not just how much you put out and when you put it out. Consistency is also the consistency of brand, consistency of message, consistency of targeting with your content. Like it's much more than, you know, your videos being the same thing. It's about creating guardrails so that your videos stay within that lane and you're creating for your audience and you're not getting shiny object syndrome and you're creating for all these other things. Like I'm not creating for cameras and then I'm creating a cooking video. We have to stay in our lane, in our channel, and through that we can start to branch out in very creative ways that ties into our brand. So that's what we're going to be discussing in that video. Number 9 is very important, and it's just as important as creating the content: monetization. Because if you're anything like me and you actually want to make this a business, you have to learn how to monetize it and make money off of it. And there are ethical ways, and there are practical ways, and there are very streamlined ways that you can do it. And I'm just going to be showing you at least what I've done so far on my channel, and maybe spark some ideas and throw around some ideas that will give you ideas on how to jumpstart your monetization for your brand in whatever niche you're in. And the reason why I'm making that video is monetization in each niche, it's not the same. So that's something that we're going to talk about within that video. Number 10 is it's a secret sauce video, and you're going to have to stick around for the rest of the series to be able to find out what that is. And if you're the one who's thinking, oh, I'm just going to skip to the end, you're actually going to miss out on the biggest thing for that. And that secret sauce is actually not going to work if you don't learn the other processes and steps. So watch the rest of the series, then jump to that video, and I promise it'll make so much sense. Okay, so now that we have the general overview of what we're going to be going through step by step in the series, I want to give you 10 things that you can consider on getting as action steps to jumpstart your YouTube channel. 1, I would highly suggest an adjustable desk, a standing desk. For me, I bought mine from a company and it's an adjustable standing desk. It's a great investment to make because I got wheels on it so I can move it around. If you watch my older YouTube videos, you actually see that my videos were actually, in this room at least, it was facing the other way. So I was actually facing that way at that wall. But because my YouTube setup was so streamlined and it was literally one plug in a power outlet, I was able to literally turn my whole setup and just plug in one switch within a matter of seconds and change my whole scene. Number 2 is desk clamp stands. And the reason why I would say desk clamp stands is it saves you so much space. It's way better than tripods. It clamps right onto your desk. You have a set scene. So like my mic, my light, my camera, it's all clamped to a desk, and it's only 3 desk clamp stands. And even before, when I told you how I moved the set, literally my lighting, my audio, and my camera really never changed. I just had to line it up with my background, which would take so much longer if you had to use your tripod, and then it would be so much more of a pain if you had to take your tripod down and then reset your camera. It'll save you so much time, I promise you that. Number 3 is a starter camera and SD card if it's needed. So if you're really tight on a budget for a camera, because I know they can get expensive, and I know that especially when you're starting out a YouTube channel and you're trying to get a camera, and $500 it seems like a lot, and it honestly is a lot. But a lot of us have extremely good cameras which look like this guy. Your phone is a great camera, and I can show you how to make the most out of it so that at least you can start making content. Number 4 is a good quality lens. And if you're on a DSLR, I highly recommend a Sigma 18-35. I'm shooting Canon, so it's an EF mount lens. But if you're buying a different camera, they have different mounts for those cameras. So just be mindful of that before you buy it. And for your phones, they have cool companies out there that sell lenses for your phone that you can literally screw on with a case, which is a small investment for a big production step. And regardless if you're shooting on a DSLR or a phone, you're gonna need some type of hard drive and storage to put all your raw content on and your final content on, and your thumbnails, and there's so much data organization that you're gonna need, especially when you draw from in the future. So data management and organization is key. I'm gonna show you 2 ways to do that. It's gonna be cloud-based. I use Google Drive, or you can buy physical external hard drives. Number 7, you're gonna need some type of laptop or some type of editing software. That's pretty straightforward. Number 8, you're gonna need the software to edit your video. I would highly encourage either using Filmora, because they have great starter, very intuitive platforms that you can use, and they have all these really cool AI features that are integrated into the app. So if you wanted to start out on something, you can check out Filmora. It's definitely an option. Number 9, you're gonna need a list of topics that you are extremely knowledgeable in. And the reason why is you don't have to figure out your topic or your niche right away. We just need to have a list that we can narrow down so we can figure out what you want to create for and what you're best at. And later in the series, I'll share like how I went about like creating my channel and how I thought about my process of what to create for, and kind of like my backstory of how I narrowed it down. So stick around for those other videos and you'll find out like what that story is and how that can be applicable to your situation as well. Last but not least is number 10, and that's your key light. And your key light is essentially just your main source of light. That's your key light. So for me, I have an Amaran 60D with the 45x45 soft dome with a little directional grid on it. And that's my key light. And that's all I have for right now. I essentially want to upgrade later on and get a fill light, which is the same Amaran 60D, but with a bigger soft dome. But if you're just starting out, your key light could just be one single light. And that's exactly what I have. So what you're seeing right now is one key light and 2 accent lights. So I'll show you actually what that looks like when I turn my key light off. That's my key light off. So you see how just one light can affect your whole scene, but also these two lights, they're also very important as well. So if I switch those off, you can see how boring it is and how weird it kind of looks just with one key light. So you could literally buy these two lights for 25 bucks. You can buy this Amaran 60D for, I think it's like 130 bucks, 160 bucks. And then the soft dome, you have to figure out how much that is. I totally forgot how much it is, but you can get just those two things and you can get this exact setup. So thank you so much again for sticking around. And I'm so excited to start this series of how not just to grow on YouTube, but to thrive on YouTube. Because I want to show you general frameworks and rhythms and seasons and gears and overdrive modes and workflows so that you're able to sustainably build a YouTube channel and also in the process not lose your family, your friends, your life, and not have time go by and you feel like you wasted time. You can do both. It's about priorities, rhythms, and seasons. And if you're still kind of like on the fence about like what to do and, you know, should I take this step or maybe this is not the path that I want to do, I want to leave you with 2 quotes and I'll read them off my phone. Still water freezes, so keep moving forward and you'll never freeze. So just take that initial step. Just take one step. And if you can't take a step, crawl. Can't crawl, use your elbows and drag yourself to that step. And if you can't drag yourself to that step, then you must be dead and you might not be watching this video. Number 2 is if you're not advancing, you're retreating. Keep moving forward. Keep advancing. If you're a man or a woman of faith, you know, prayerfully consider it. But if you're not advancing, you're retreating. So be bold, be courageous. I'm so happy, I'm so excited that you're sticking in with us. Proud of you. Maybe you've never heard that so much, but I'm proud of you. And I'm excited to share what I know, you know, what I can offer to you to help you in your starting of your YouTube channel and the growth of your YouTube channel. So again, thanks for tuning in and I'll see you in the next video.